Collaboration IEMs, yes, 2022 was the big collab boom, if you will. There's so many collab IEMs that came out, and also now in 2023, there's a lot of upcoming ones as well. This video has been a long time coming. I keep wanting to make this, but they keep announcing new collabs so rapidly that I kept pushing the video out and out and out until I decided, F it, I'm just gonna do it now and update in the comment section later if new one comes out. Hey friends, Timmy, welcome back to another video on Giz Audio, and today we have collab tier list. Yes, I have all the collabs here that I can remember. There's some that I'm forgetting. There's some I might be intentionally forgetting as well. But yeah, we have some from FiiO's, from Rinko, from HBB. Now, before we start ranking all of this, let me quickly explain the tier list right now. At the top spot is absolute perfection. It can be no better than this, right? I think that's self-explanatory. Below that is banger. It's just amazing, but just, you know, shy of perfection. Below that we have the general good, not amazing, just good. Below that is which is I really don't feel any emotion towards it. And the last one is send me please, meaning I haven't tried them for some reason. Oh yeah, if you want to do this tier list yourself, I left the template down in the description below. Feel free to make your own, screenshot it, send it into Discord, you know, share your own opinions. So the first one here is 7Hz Zero. It's not really an official collab, but we all know Rinko tuned it, and I thought, you know, why not just put it in here anyway. The 7Hz Zero for $20. The sound quality is just fantastic. It's one of the top 5 IEM under $50 or under $20. I just realized it's no longer $20, it's $25 now, guys. I am so sorry. So because of that, I don't know if I can put it in banger anymore because the competition is cheaper now. The Ola is cheaper, the Yanyin is cheaper, and this, you know, it's still good. Still top 5 best budget Fi IEM, but I don't know, it falls a little bit short of banger now because the competition is like $6, $7 cheaper in case of the Ola, and like a whole $5 cheaper in case of the Yanyin. And that might not sound like a big deal to some of you guys out there, but it is. If you're looking into budget IEM, $5 is a big difference. That's 20%. Let me rearrange the order right here. I realized I have them like ordered by reviewer, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do all the same reviewer at once. I want to like randomize them around. There you go. Next one here, we have the Rinko. FiiO's new Rinko, a collaboration with C Audio. Now this one I have not tried, but I do have one coming in though, so hopefully it comes in real soon and I get to try. But as for now, it's in send me please. Next one is the Truthears Zero. Now this one for me lands in just good. Yeah, I like it for the most part. The only thing I don't like about it is the same as what I don't like about the Con, is the treble in the upper mid range. A little bit too intense, a little bit too forward for me, and the timbre is just a little bit peaky due to that treble peak, if you will. So where's the Con? Where's the Con? I'm gonna put the Con at the exact same spot. Boom. Just good. Both of these, the differences, if you guys want to know, is the Con has a slightly bit more heady kind of vocals, while the Truthears Zero has a little bit more body to the mid-range, if you will. So if you're into female vocals, I suggest the Con. If you're into other stuff, male vocals and instrumentals in general, I suggest the Zero. Next one is the Dusk. The Dusk till this day has remained a benchmark IEM for under $500, and it's quite incredible for an IEM to last literally more than 6 months in this hobby, it seems. But the Dusk have lasted, not only lasted, but have stayed benchmark for, I don't know, 2 years plus at this point, 3 years. So it can't be anywhere lower than banger. Like it has to be at least banger. Maybe not absolute perfection, because I'm saving that for like the ultimate of ultimate IEM. So for now, just banger. Maybe we'll change it. Next is the EJ07 Kinda Lava. Now this thing is now discontinued, so you can't get it anymore, but it is one of my most favorite collab IEMs out there. It's tuned very similar to the Monarch Mark II, which is not something that HBB was going for at all. There's a whole backstory on that drama, which I'm not gonna get into, but the way it's tuned now is really good to me. Sadly, you can't get it anymore, but I think it deserves at least a banger. Next is the Mele. This one is discontinued as well. Why? Why? This one is a Blonde 03 upgrade, if you will. Very bassy, has a really heavy treble roll-off, so it's really relaxing type of sound signature. If it was still around now, would I still put it as good? I don't think so. I think the other set, like the Khan, definitely is far superior than the Mele for me. Nowadays, at the time it was released, maybe good, but today it would be an eh. The Kai is similar story to the Mele. Nowadays it would be an eh. Back then it would be a decent. Olina SE though, this one, straight banger. It sounds just very natural. The bass is quite satisfying and the vocals are very forward and well separated from the lower frequencies, if you will. The only oddities may be in the treble area, but that's not really a fault to just the Olina SE. It's just the single dynamic driver IEMs in general don't really have the best treble. So being that is its only deficit, everything else is awesome, so banger. Next we have the Dioko. Now Dioko for me does a lot of things well, but not many things great. And it has one big flaw, and that is the really high treble spike that gives it this kind of planar timbre, if you want to describe it that way. Other than that, it's a neutral signature that's rather inoffensive. If you're not sensitive to that treble peak, then you'll be completely fine with it. For me, nowadays, I don't know if I would consider it good anymore. I would put it in eh, because I don't really use it because of that treble peak. And though everything else is good, again, is very subdued, I guess. Nothing really stands out. It's more like standard, good, neutral. Next is the original Olina, and this one I made my thoughts clear in many videos that I don't really like it too much. I much prefer the Olina SE. As you can see, the gap in performance here. The original is in eh and the SE is in banger. The SE is significantly better, and I don't even know if you can get the original anymore. Project Red, well, this one I've tried the V1 version, I think, or the V2, I can't remember, but I have not tried the V3, so I can't comment on this. It goes into the send me please for now. But fun fact, at the time that this video comes out, I'm probably in Singapore and probably have already tried Project Red V3. So check in the comment section, the pinned comment, to see if I give any thoughts on Project Red. Next is Galileo, but I don't want to do Galileo right now. I want to give everyone else the spotlight first, you know, because this is my channel after all. You hear about Galileo all the time. Next is the FiiO Midnight. Yes, this one for me is still good. Almost an eh now though, because cheaper IEMs are creeping up in quality seemingly by the month. So the Midnight is now performing just barely for its price point. IEMs like even the Dioko or the Hexa, I would argue, performs around the same level as the Midnight. So yeah, still good for me. Neutral tuning. The reason is above the Dioko in this case is just more engaging. There's more to bite on with the Midnight. The Dioko is just kind of, again, inoffensive, if you will, and not really the most engaging IEM. Next is the FHE, FiiO FHE. For me, this is a very niche IEM. Now, I don't have a niche category in this particular tier list, but if it did have a niche category, it would belong there. Nowadays, I feel like it is, man, it's so hard to pick. It's not, I don't feel like putting it in eh, and I don't feel like putting it in good. I wish there was like a category in between. But I guess I don't like it as much as I like the good IEM, so I'm just gonna put it in eh. Too bassy for me personally. I like something a little bit more balanced, and again, my focus is on mid-range and vocal presentation, and the FHE is more for the bass heads, so for me, not as objectively good, if you will, more a niche IEM. Next is the HBB Hook-X. This one I still haven't tried. Maybe I'll have to get my hands on a unit someday. I just really didn't want to blind buy something, especially when the Hook-X is just good for me. It's not an IEM that I use all the time, so blind buying the HBB version for me just, you know, wasn't the best of financial ideas, so I just haven't got to try it. Next is the Duino SA6 Ultra. Man, I love this thing, man. I love this thing. I love the original SA6. I love QDC type of tuning, like on the Gemini and on the VX. And this nailed it. This is basically Duino's version of QDC. And for a lot less. Well, during the time that you can buy it, of course. I would say it is, oh God, I'm so close to putting it in absolute perfection. So freaking close. Banger for now, just banger, but really high banger. I love this thing a lot. Next is the Heyday, and the Heyday for me is probably one of the best planar on the market currently that you can grab. The timbre is great. It sounds like a DD timbre, to be honest with you, which is to say, again, it's very natural sounding. The bass is satisfying. The only gripe I have with it is that the upper mid-range could be a little bit more forward, could be a little bit more smooth, if you will, but that is the only thing. In terms of planar, the Heyday is simply the best one out there. Next is the Kinera Nanna Z CEOs edition. I have the Nanna Z original, and I kind of like that IEM. I used to like it a lot more in the past, but not so much nowadays. The Nanna Z CEOs I've not tried, and I don't think I'll ever get to try because it is very expensive. Any of you guys out there own one and is willing to loan me for graph and, you know, testing, I'd be happy to make that arrangement happen, but if not that, I'm probably never going to try it. Next is the QKC X HBB. This one for me is an as well. Same kind of thinking with the FHE is that it's a lot more focused on the bass, and for me, I want my vocals more forward. So this, if I had a niche category here, would go into niche, but since I don't, it goes into eh. Next is the Critical Dawn. Oh, the Dawn. The Dawn. Man, the Dawn is probably the best sounding collab, barring SA6 Ultra. It's a little bit better than the Dusk even, so it goes right in banger at the very least. But to be honest, I have nothing I really can fault about this IEM. Like, if this was the only IEM I have for the next year, 2 years, 3 years, I really wouldn't mind it either. So it's pretty darn close to absolute perfection. But I can say the same thing about the SA6 Ultra as well. So, man, do I put it above SA6 Ultra? Below? Above? I'll put it above for now because I feel right now, my current emotional feeling, I want to listen to the Dawn more. Next is the Mahina. This is the Yanyin Moonlight retuned version from HBB. This one for me is good. It's just good. Standard Moonlight tuning with more bass, so it's very balanced sounding. Nothing really stands out as amazing out of it, but nothing stands out as bad quality either. So it's a standard good IEM. For the price nowadays, I would say it is a little bit more expensive, but yeah, standard good. Next is the C12, and this one is just good. Just straight into good. I love the S12, the S12 Pro, the C12. They're probably some of my favorite IEMs out in the market today. They are a little bit niche though because of the treble. It's quite a lot, but I feel like it's done well. It's not like a hard peak like a lot of planar IEMs tend to have. It's more of a low Q boost in the treble, if you will. So I really enjoy the S12 Pro C12 series. So good, not banger because it is just not versatile. Again, a little bit on the niche side. And last but not least, we have